It's a bid for vehicles that the city has to purchase.
Okay, I understand that.
Multiple companies can bid on that under the Louisiana Procurement Code, which is LARS 38-2212 at sequence. All of those things that have to be bid are listed, and this is a competitive bid, and so there's a low bid award for what we need, and that local, there was no local bidder, if I recall. Hickson used to be a local bidder. A lot of the other companies, they don't, but the low bid is Courtesy, and they currently have this bid now, and so they've made the low bid again. Looks like there were 3, St. Martin, Courtesy, and another version of Courtesy. They're all part of Courtesy.
Okay.
So they're 3 sets of all Courtesy-related entities that bid on the vehicles. I used to get asked a lot, like, why wouldn't someone do it? And just because to get them all is not always in the money. The other way we do it under Louisiana law is you can also, where there is surplus for the state and others, you can piggyback and get it without having to go through the formal process because they're already put up through state law. But this was a true bid, and that's how the bid got awarded. And so you'll see all the vehicles that were bid.
You're referring to the state contract?
Yes,
And then the other thing, if someone else buys, we can buy off of their bid.
that's the piggybacking part.
Okay, explain the piggyback part.
So someone else can go out and get a bid. If they're not using everything, we can buy directly off of there and not have to go through the full formal process, because the theory being that's already been done. The purpose of the bid law has been achieved with all those there,
And these are
all those vehicles there.
And these are all South Louisiana dealers.
Not only all South Louisiana, it looks like really one parent company. It's Courtesy only.
Okay.
And that has been the case for a few years
They've
now.
done it for years.
Is there any particular reason?
I can't go year for year, Mr. Lawberdane, but I would tell you, other than Hickson, we weren't getting any other bids. None of the other, Walker wasn't doing it, and no one else. It was just Ford.
Is there any reason Hickson didn't bid?
We would never, we don't, there's nothing we would know about that. The bids are put out. If they don't bid, they don't
I was
bid.
just wondering if you heard
Yeah.
something or someone came to you.
I mean, I'd be happy telling you as the chair of legal, anything like that, but I wouldn't say what I heard in a
Okay.
public
'Cause,
meeting.
I mean, I like for us to support local when we can.
100%. We don't control the bid. I mean, if they don't bid, they don't bid.
State law, we just gotta follow it.
And the administration looks, I guess, they're all Fords, so models and make, that's not a consideration. So this has primarily been driven by price.
It's
Specifications and price.
specifications and price. If you do a specification and someone is the low bidder and they bid correctly on what you did, a conforming bid, then you have to go to the low bidder unless everything's rejected ahead of time. Our capacity building to keep things local. So if you say, well, what can you do to help local people?
Yeah.
Well, you'll see that in the next one. So in a uniform bid, you'll see that we demand in the bid package that winner be able to service people locally. So if somebody from Connecticut wanted to be the lowest bid, if they could somehow figure out how to ship and do that and remain lowest, they wouldn't get it anyway because the specs wouldn't allow our employees to go have a place locally to go get their uniforms done.
So we want a brick and mortar also?
We can't require a brick and mortar, but we can require that there be immediate, reasonable ability for every officer to go get alterations, new uniforms, and those changes. And so what happens is an out-of-towner can beat, for example, Kaplan's. They could beat out Kaplan's by a little, and as long as they're willing to go to the public safety compound and do all that, somebody can take that bid, and that, I think, appears to what happened in the next one that you're going to take up on your legal committee.
Okay.
It doesn't look like Kaplan's was beat by much, but it looks like they were beat on the bid. And the first thing I did in staff, because of our commitment to local, was, okay, we may not can do anything about this, but in the future, tell me, chiefs, how we write the bids to make sure that that local help for these guys to go get it is in place. That's a legitimate government concern, that our officers can immediately go get an alteration or whatever. And I looked at how it was written, it was conformed to written, and there was in it, in the bid, that they pledge, they have to be over it there, I think it's 2 times a week, something.
That's what I was gonna ask, if
Yeah.
we're even to talk about that item, if there was a local option
This-
for them.
So if y'all open
Let's
it,
finish
y'all
number
can.
one. Let's
yeah.
finish number one. All right,
I'll
good
move
point.
to number one.
Okay, all right. Do I have a second?
Yeah, I second.
All right. Let's now go to item number 2, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for annual uniform bid for fire department.
Okay, so I will go over the materials and supplies for political subdivisions and local government. If something's less than 1,000, you document 3 verbal quotes. If something is 1,000 to 29,999, you need to obtain documentation of at least 3 written or electronic quotes. If the bid is 30,000 to 60,000, this is mandatory. The other 2 are recommended. They're recommended. This is now mandatory when you get to 30,000. You must obtain at least 3 quotes, telephone, fax, email, or other printable form. You must obtain written confirmation of the accepted offer. And if selecting other than the lowest quote, written documentation must be included in the file supporting why the selection was in the best interest of the public entity. So let's stop there. The first question you'd ask is, how could you ever take not the lowest? Remember, you're under the threshold amount where the real teeth kick in. Here, in place of that, what's happening is it's the written bid. So when you do a written bid to conform, it's very clear. We can have those requirements. Local, must be able to alter here, must either have bricks and mortar here. When you're under that amount, even though it's mandatory to do the other part, the law suggests you could go under, but you better have good public purpose reasons why you did. What would be an example? They were local. They had the ability to go do certain things. And so those don't apply here. I wanted to give you the warm-up to what does. When the bid is 60,000 or more, advertised, so first advertisement 15 days before opening, may not occur on a Saturday, Sunday, or legal holiday. 2 times at least once a week in the newspaper in the locality, may be published electronically. Plans and specifications shall be available to bidders the day of the first ad and until 24 hours before the bid open date. The bids are then delivered sealed. Sealed bids, they must be hand-delivered, certified mail, or electronically submitted. You may not accept or take bids submitted on a USPS designated holiday. If all qualifications have been met, the contract shall be awarded to the lowest responsible or responsive bidder. And if we need to get into that, I'll let Trey explain the legal definition of a responsible, responsive bidder. And then they must get through the execution of a contract and initiation of a purchase order, the bid. At the time of the first advertisement or of the advertisement section, you could reject all bids. The public entity may reject any and all bids for just cause. And the idea is, if each time the local that everyone wants to get it didn't get it, and you reject it each time to try to trip up and make the non-local not get it and then do it, you would have a bid law violation, and someone could potentially sue.
Could challenge that.
So, I know we get a lot of folks that are concerned with local. We are just as much. The bid law is just not, there's no controls for the city in the bid law except one: build the capacity for locals to know about the bids, et cetera, and they do. And so here you had our sort of beloved Kaplan's group. It looks like, they told me in staff how much by each amount. It adds up to a lot, but it's a tiny amount per item.
It was close.
It was close,
It
super
was
close, super close.
Mainly the dress uniforms.
Yeah.
Had the biggest difference, per-
And so we think about that in the future, like including the dress uniform, which is not often used. You might in the future not include that, but just remember, there is another rule, which I don't have in front of me, but I can tell you roughly, which is called division of bids. So if you divide out a question, like dividing the question in parliamentary, if you divide out the bid purposefully to get around the bid rules to favor or disfavor someone, that also is illegal. I mean, that's a question of sort of looking at those things, but if anything nefarious were suspected, somebody can bring something forward on that, and they could, make hay with it. Trey, correct anything I'm telling them that's not correct, and explain responsive bidder.
Okay, responsive bidding is when we put out a certain type of specs, which has different requirements.
Explain that.
So let's use cars. Let's
Okay.
use a car, you're bidding on a car.
Okay.
And we're hypothetically, the car we're asking bids on, we need at least a 300 horsepower motor.
Okay.
Okay? If somebody comes up and they've got a 285 horsepower motor, that's not responsive to our asking for 300.
Okay.
Unless they've got turbocharged and it's the equivalent by torque. Am I making sense about this? In other words, if 285 horsepower is the equivalent of a 300, then it's responsive.
Or equal.
Or equal. The responsive is, what that denotes is that the bidder is complying with the requirements the municipality puts in its request. Responsible, that's different. What a responsible bidder is, let's say somebody is the low bidder but doesn't perform because they financially can't, or they just...
You learn they bid, but they can't do what they
People
said
have
they
done
could do.
this. Maybe somebody's bid with us, but, they couldn't build, they couldn't put the carpet in because they didn't know how to put the carpet in.
Okay.
The next time we bid for carpet, if we have a history of the bidder being not responsible, they can be disqualified.
Being flaky with us, okay.
Okay, that's the difference.
Okay.
Now, the responsive, as Mr. Fowler was saying, you can be responsive if you are the equivalent or equal to the different specs.
Okay.
Is that?
I have an idea.
So years ago, it was no secret, all our officers wanted Chevys. They wanted Tahoe, they want Chevys. But Chevy wasn't really doing it locally. Hickson was doing it all, so we were getting Fords. And everybody would like for us to be able to say, in the spec, we want a Chevy Tahoe.
You can't do
But
that.
as Trey just explained, if someone can show the Ford's equivalency, other than the name Ford, and it has the same colors, and which they all won't like anyway, but it has the same colors and all that, you can't do anything. So you can try to be artful to get what you want, the mower you want, the truck you want, but if the equivalencies are there, and all these companies know that, when they're designing for police vehicles, they're very aware of universal specs, so that they can not have that happen where one community gets all Chevys, one gets all Fords.
All right, well, I'm just kind of curious because we get our books every other meeting and it has the documents in them, and we really don't have time to talk about, I guess, context. And I know people who are watching and listening want us to be stewards of their money, and I guess I just want to kind of inform myself better of the process,
Yeah.
as opposed to, so I can-
And we don't pick bids, y'all, that's done by.
Understand,
Yeah.
and so, and we don't really talk that much before it gets to this point.
Yeah.
So I just want to kind of,
And look,
this was a learning.
Mr. Chair, as
session
legal
for me.
chair, there's stuff I dig way down to the atom on, and there's stuff I don't. And as I've told you guys, I don't own bids. I don't have any knowledge about it, look at it, part of the process of writing them, speccing them, or doing anything. But when I saw that Kaplan's didn't get it, I knew today would be an important day to kind of bone up and be prepared to go over how it works, because a local didn't get it. And so I took a little extra time I spent a few hours researching and just making sure, reading all the specs myself. I did it today for that reason. So
Okay.
I am prepared to answer questions, but that's what happened.
All right.
Well, I'm glad your intuition told you to do that, because I think we probably had those questions of just
Yeah.
looking at what was happening with these bids.
So
Thank you.
typically, the specifications evolve from the department that's requesting it. For instance, like the fire bid, they know what they want,
Right.
and they're the ones that create it, and then we have to approve it when it's all been approved and meet all the legal requirements, and then they bid it.
All right.
For reference, the process is outlined on the Louisiana Legislative Auditor's website.
Okay.
If you ever need to.
I mean, I get that, but I mean, I know that they prepare the paperwork and all, but when it goes from bid to you guys, and I don't know, I mean, do you guys do any considerations, or is it just solely up to us? Okay, all right,
I'll move.
Second.
all right. Legal committee adjourned. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right.
Before, a rebroadcast may be viewed on Optum Cable 4 in the City of Alexandria website. At this time, we have the invocation by Ms. Councilman Green and the pledge by Councilwoman Felton.
Father God, we thank you for this day, another day to get it right, to get in your presence. Lord, we ask that you blend all of our minds together for the betterment of this city, this community. Father God, we ask these in your son's name, we ask. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have roll call.
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Ms. Stelter?
Here.
Mr. Green?
Present.
Mr. Fowler? Mr. Millard? Mr. Lawberdane?
Here.
Ms. Perry?
Here.
Madam President?
Okay, we have the approval of the minutes taken from the regular meeting held on July 1st, 2025. I need a motion, please.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Johnson. Ready for the consent calendar? Oh, we have, okay. Mr. White,
Yes, thank you, Madam President.
you're welcome, sir.
First, I want to offer prayers to our people in Texas.
Right.
That's really a bad disaster over there. I see where Pineville's sending people. I don't know if we're sending anybody or anything, but they need our prayers over there, and they helped us during Katrina. It'll be 20 years next month. I just
Anything,
wish we had more input, like I said, on the minutes and stuff like that, and we need to talk about this carbon capture one day.
yes, sir. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
White. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
You're welcome. Discussion. Motion carried. Any opposed? Motion carried.
F, consent calendar. Number 1, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for liquid chlorine 1-ton cylinders. Number 2, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for 245 KV gas circuit breaker. Number 3, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the proposal received for professional services for the Alexandria City Hall chilled water plant replacement project. Number 4, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the lowest proposal received from U.S. Lawns of Alexandria for landscape maintenance services for Upper Third Streetscape. Number 5, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the lowest proposal received from U.S. Lawns of Alexandria for landscape maintenance services, 9th Street Streetscape. Number 6, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the lowest proposal received from U.S. Lawn of Alexandria for landscape maintenance services, 6th and Johnston parking lot. Number 7, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the lowest proposal for janitorial services for the cleaning of the utility customer service building. Number 8, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low proposal received for janitorial services for A-Trans bus terminal. Number 9, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the lowest proposal received for qualified valve exercise program services. Number 10, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew the service contract for transformer repairs, pole mount, and pad mount.
Need a motion, please? Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Johnson. Any items to the committee?
G, resolution. Number 11, resolution authorizing advertisement for bid for sludge removal and disposal services for the wastewater treatment plant Phase 1.
Motion, please? Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilwoman Felter. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? I'm sorry.
I just want, just for my, but the sludge removal, that's out of the water treatment, so it builds up over time?
Sewer, yes,
Sewer?
Yeah.
Okay.
wastewater.
Wastewater,
Yeah, Sewer treatment.
Hudson.
And it builds up and it has to be taken off where it can overtop.
Okay, wastewater. All right.
Fills up.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 12, resolution authorizing advertisement for bids for DG Hunter Units 5, 6, 7, and 8, Wazilla overall maintenance services.
Motion, please? Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Johnson. Public comments? Discussion? All in,
Yes.
I'm,
Madam President, Mayor, when was the last time those Wazilla engines ran and did any productive service for the community? Just for my information, please.
Today,
Today?
there's I think you're repeating a rumor that goes around every year that they don't run because
No,
people
that was
don't.
for my
Well, that-
exception, not a rumor.
So as, we run a lot.
Yeah, we run whenever MISO calls on us to generate. We put in our offer to what it's going to cost for us to run that plant, and we get a certain time when they want us to run, and that's how it works. But we run almost every day.
Since we're the,
Now, it may
since we're
only
the
be.
cheapest, MISO's going to call on us the most. And we run hard because of that.
So,
A success story, if you will.
so.
But it wears them down.
So you mean, see, when MISO calls us, so are you telling me that every day our generating unit is being used?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm saying when MISO, whenever we send in a offer on what it takes for us to run, MISO looks at our generation costs versus everybody else's generation costs, and they pick the ones that are the lowest, and then they call on that generation during a specific time during the day. Sometimes in the wintertime, we'll run 24 hours. Sometimes it's only 4. Just depends on what MISO calls on us to generate at the time.
You have to be able to run when they call or huge penalties. That's the whole point of an integrated system. MISO, the I is about integration. That's what it's for.
So are we always submitting a bid to MISO?
Daily offer.
A daily offer?
Yes,
Every
sir.
morning.
Okay.
We have black start capability or?
But we can,
It's the fastest start technology still.
we can be up in like 2 minutes.
Is MISO acronym?
Yes.
Mid-Intercontinental,
I said the I is for integration. It is an integrated.
Where you do,
Mid-intercontinental
Mid-Intercontinental.
organization.
So every morning, the city submits a bid to.
Yes.
to myself.
Wow, okay.
And it has to do with cost of gas and what it takes for us to run it, you know, that's how it works.
Everybody else is on MISO does the same thing.
Yeah,
I
so-
understand.
Clico's in it. I mean, there's a lot of, I'm trying to look up the region. It's huge. Mid-Continent Independent System Operator. So ours is called Mid-Continent Independent System Operator, but there's other ISOs, Independent System Operators. So in other areas of the country, there are ISOs all over. Ours is just called the M for Mid-Continent because of where we are in the U.S. But there are, I can't probably in time tell you how many are in it, but MISO's big. And so their whole game, as you imagine, their whole point is to deliver the best, most reliable delivery that's cheapest. And so one of your metrics, one of the measures of whether you have a good utility is if they're calling on you all the time, they're independently deciding that. That's the best
And we're
report
making
card
money
you
off
can get.
that. And we're making money
Yes.
off that.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
Good deal.
Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
H, ordinances for final adoption subject to public hearing. Number 13, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for spun pre-stressed wood pole equivalent concrete poles.
Motion, please.
Move.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilwoman Fowler. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 14, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for annual vehicle bid current model year or new.
Motion, please. Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by
Second.
second by Councilwoman Felter. Public comments, Mr. White,
Thank you, Madam President.
you're welcome.
I want to thank the mayor for explaining that, because I was wondering why Hickson Autoplex, because I know they used to have the contract for all the vehicles and stuff. But I just have one question, and I think the public would like to know this. Since, I assume this place is in Lafayette, right? I mean, I'm just
We
wondering,
got 4 locations.
but are they here?
One's in Opelousas.
Okay, Opelousas, Lafayette, South Louisiana. So if the vehicles have a warranty and all like that, if they break down or something, we got to ship them back down there, right?
I'm sure the company will come pick them up.
Oh, the company, okay. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, another thing, if you got a Ford gonna work on.
No, I didn't want to,
Yeah,
of
your
course.
Ford work on.
They'll be happy to charge you to
Yeah.
work on it here. yeah.
You want to take it there if you got.
You don't have to
We have
pick
a
them.
motor pool too that does it, right?
And we have our own motor pool, and we, under warranty, we would have Ford do whatever here.
Yeah.
Different from uniforms, so it's not the same.
Okay.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 15, to consider final adoption of the ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for annual uniform bid for fire department.
Motion, please. Motion by Councilwoman Felter, second by Councilman Johnson. Public comments, Mr. White,
Thank you, Madam President.
you're welcome.
Again, y'all explained everything. I wish Kaplan's had gotten a contract like the police contract, so I appreciate the explanation, because the people want to know why, because we say shop local, buy local, so thank you for that.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Like, how long is this contract for?
It's an annual.
And your year.
So just 1 year?
Yep.
It probably has renewal.
It probably has renewals, and so we
Yeah,
can,
it does.
so sometime, locals, y'all tend to renew locals, and I'll leave it at that. It's annual.
1 year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And for it to be renewed, we have to renew it.
Yes, sir.
Right, it has to come through the council.
All right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 16, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for single-phase pole mount transformers.
Motion, please.
Move.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Felter, second by Councilman Green. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
17, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for single-phase pad mount transformers.
A motion, please.
Move.
A second, please.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilwoman Felter. Discussion, public comments, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
18, to consider final adoption of ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for three-phase pad mount transformers.
A motion, please.
Move.
Second, please.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Felter, second by Councilman Johnson. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
19, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a technical services agreement with MCD Consulting LLC.
A motion, please.
Move.
Second, please.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Felter, second by Councilman Fowler. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 20, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a master services agreement with CSRS LLC for engineering and related services and otherwise to provide with respect thereto.
Need a motion, please.
Move.
Second.
Second.
Okay, a motion by Councilwoman Felter, second by Councilman Fowler. Public comments, discussion.
All right, I have a few matters. So, Mayor, I'm glad that we've gotten to this point, that we're voting on passing this contract with CSRS.
Yes, sir. Me too.
You and I have had some weighty conversations on how to advance the city.
Yes.
And I hope with the passing, I guess with the signing of this contract, we can really kind of get some things going.
Yes,
I see we have a stakeholder present today who could possibly benefit from this arrangement. So I just want to say, let's get the ball rolling.
yes.
You know,
And I will have a series of public meetings, charrette-style meetings, and then I'm going to schedule, first I'm going to call you guys to make it most convenient for you. My next mayor's briefing, before I schedule it, I'm going to coordinate through Donna to make sure. I'm going to launch a few of them immediately to talk about the Masonic corridor, their reimagine the center city corridor that we've talked about. And I want to publicly state that so that reimagined corridor would be roughly Lee all the way to the circle and eventually on down. But that Masonic corridor would involve public safety nodes, transportation nodes. By node, I mean a individual project, Bringhurst. We want to do a court complex down behind the fire station, a public safety component, new transportation softening, all of those nodes, the mall, doing a whole lot of, we're talking about reimagining that corridor at a very large scale like Spark. So the whole new Spark, if you will, would be called Reignite. That corridor is reimagined. Another Reignite project, and I'll be quiet on this, I want to give credit where it's due to Mr. Lawverdane. In what used to be CRA2, the Bolton Avenue corridor, Mr. Lawverdane and I are both working personally on a housing component in there that should be very unique, and I think will prove the value of the Spark corridor, cleaning up the area and really doing some amazing things in housing cleanup behind the Bolton Avenue Community Center. If I go show you before all of that corridor was redone and after, it's pretty tangible, and you can see it, optical. But Malcolm has Mr. Lawverdane and I are working on some ideas that will bring some even newer stuff, and that is included in the package that I'll be going over with you and breaking down project by project.
let's just really put take pen and put it on paper and get a timeline,
Yes, sir.
and let's just start showing the people what we can do, because I know they want change and they're excited for it, so let's make it happen.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Chair, come upstairs to it. I'll show you on the whiteboard. You'll see your stuff.
All righty.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.